You ever feel a cold wind sweep through the city? A quiet storm rolling in that no one wants to name out loud? Like the ground beneath Ford Field just shivered, but the crowd still holding its breath, waiting for the chaos to break loose? There's a tension in Detroit's air right now that's more than just preseason jitters. It's the fragile heartbeat of a team on the edge of a seismic shift, knocking at the door between hope and heartbreak. If you're sitting there telling yourself this is just another training camp shakeup, I need you to stop and stare deep into this moment. Drop into the comments if you bleed Honolulu blue and silver, and you're ready for the Lions to fight tooth and claw through this storm. No matter what. Behind the closed doors of the Lions facility, whispers are growing louder, executives holding their breath. COACHEs exchanging furtive glances, and veterans with a hint of dread lurking in their eyes. Because what's about to be revealed isn't just another roster move. It's a brutal declaration that the Lions are willing to cut ties with their past, even if it hurts right down to the bone. The name? Tim Patrick. Yes, you heard me right. That seasoned, tough-as-nails receiver who's battled through every missed catch and every bruise in practice like a true Detroit warrior. He's suddenly on the chopping block, hanging by a thread, facing the unimaginable, losing his job before the regular season even kicks off. And who's the catalyst behind this lightning strike? None other than the promising, towering Isaac Tesla, a fresh face with raw, explosive talent. Standing 2.01 meters tall, a physical specimen poised to carve his name into this team's future. This isn't just about who's faster or taller. This is about identity. It's about what the Lions believe they need to be: bigger, stronger, hungrier. Tim Patrick has been a steady presence, a veteran anchor in a sea of uncertainty. But the front office is sending a message that they want something different, something sharper, something that screams the new Lions roar. And Detroit, oh Detroit, you know this story better than any city could. We've stared down despair every season since '91, felt the bitter sting of near misses, playoff droughts, and the endless rebuilds. We've carried the weight of Caldwell's unfulfilled promises, the heartbreak of lost legends, and the gut-wrenching seasons where hope slipped through our fingers like Detroit snow in March. But this is not just another wave to ride out. What if Patrick's cut isn't the end of a chapter, but the start of a revolution? What if Isaac Tesla's arrival ignites a firestorm, unleashing a new breed of lion that fights with a ferocity this city craves? What if this gamble, brutal as it feels now, is the spark that finally breaks our curse, that rewrites the story of a team too long trapped in the shadows? Yet, questions burn hotter than ever. What if this move shatters team chemistry? What if losing a veteran in Patrick alienates a locker room already weathered by rumors and uncertainty? What if, despite all this upheaval, the window slams shut unforgivingly fast, leaving us with nothing but another season of dreams deferred and hopes crushed under the weight of hard truths? The truth is, Detroit knows pain that breeds resilience, hardship that fans the flames of undying loyalty. We aren't strangers to sacrifice or upheaval. We've made peace with the fact that greatness demands a price, and here we are, possibly paying it in real time. So where does this leave us, the faithful? Watching the dominoes teeter beneath the glare of the spotlight. The fuse has been lit with the news that Tim Patrick could be shown the door, and trust me, this is only the beginning. Because if Detroit's front office is daring to trade experience for raw potential, tossing veterans aside to chase a more brutal, sharp-edged destiny, you can bet your last Detroit dime that more shockwaves are headed our way. And if this domino falls, the next names on the chopping block will drop like thunder, shaking our fragile faith all over again. This isn't just a roster change. It's the city's blood pumping through a team desperate to rise, clawing its way out of the darkness with teeth bared and claws sharpened. Because if this move hits as a knocking bell to history, Detroit's not just coming back. We're coming for blood. And now, as the silence tightens and anticipation reaches a roar, all that's left is to wait for the explosion. Enough silence roar, now or forever be forgotten. Detroit, You feel it deep in your bones. This isn't just another move. This is the storm that awakens 1,000 years of pain, fury, and relentless hope buried beneath the Motor City's scars. It's like the ghosts of Sandcastle's past still whisper in the wind Barry Sanders, walking away when we needed him most. Calvin Johnson giving his gold jacket to silence a years-long scream. Jim Caldwell getting fired after a playoff heartbeat. The heartbreak of losing seasons that left us hollow and desperate for a miracle. We've watched our Warriors rise only to fall again, trapped in years of what-ifs and near misses, and yet here we are, standing on the brink, staring into the abyss of change. Look back at the 0-16 nightmare. I remember the cold dread of that season, the soul-crushing realization that Detroit was a town haunted by its own ghosts. But we rose, clawed our way up, fought through the chaos, and last season finally, there was a flicker of hope, a glimpse of the team we knew we could be. And now, knowing that the front office is ready to cut loose a veteran like Patrick, a player who's battled injuries, doubts, and every critic's jabs, just to make room for raw, untested potential Isaac Tesla, a giant among boys, this is the dark before the dawn or the last nail in the coffin. The locker room's tension is thicker than ever. Can you hear it? The whispers about loyalty, sacrifice, the stories of old Lions players who fought for the city. Do they feel betrayed? Or are they locked in silent agreement that Detroit's hunger demands even the strongest to be sacrificed? Because rivals across the NFC North are watching, licking their lips, whispering about a Lions team now vulnerable to infighting, vulnerable to losing its identity in pursuit of a bigger, meaner lion. Think about the pressure on Campbell. Does he feel the weight of history pressing down every time he makes a call? Does he see the legacy of Joe Louis every time he steps onto the field? Or is it just another game in a long chain of battles for respect? Detroit's scars run deep, but they've also sharpened us, made us warriors hardened by every heartbreak, every season tipped into despair or fleeting hope. We remember Dan Orlovsky's safety, how he sprinted out of the end zone just to keep the game alive, how that single act symbolized Detroit's grit, and that same spirit is what's fueling this upheaval. Because this isn't just about keeping a veteran around. No, it's about DNA, about whether the Lions are finally ready to shed the weight of the past, to embrace a new era built from blood, sweat, and relentless fury. This decision to move on from Patrick Bitter, as it feels, might be the spark that ignites a transformation, or it could tear apart everything we fought so hard to build. What if this move shatters the locker room cohesion? What if it creates cracks so wide that even the strongest Lions can't heal? Maybe it's the chaos Detroit's been waiting for to finally shake off the chains of mediocrity, like Barry Sanders walking away, leaving fans stunned, then coming back stronger. Maybe Tesla's raw power will be enough to redefine what this team is, a beast awakening from a long slumber. But what if instead the chaos engulfs us? What if this gamble, fueled by boldness and defiance, is really a last-ditch effort to resurrect something that's already broken? The wounds run deep, the scars of seasons lost in wild-card heartbreak, of playoff hopes gashed by fumbles and missed kicks. They're still raw, etched into Detroit's very soul. We've seen it all before, the false dawns and cruel fade-outs, the promises of greatness that evaporate under pressure, under the weight of tradition and fear. Now, as the latest chapter unfolds, the whispers inside the locker room are like a ticking bomb. One wrong move, and the whole foundation can crumble. And the front office knows it. They see the history lose Patrick now, and maybe you lose the locker room for good. Or maybe you ignite a fire so fierce that nothing can contain it. But what if the next domino doesn't fall? What if, amidst the chaos, there's a hero waiting just beyond the shadows? A player hungry enough to seize this moment and rewrite the story? What if the next chapter is written not in tears or regrets, but in roars that shatter every ceiling Detroit's ever known? The roars echo through Ford Field like the ghosts of legends past. Every cheer a reminder of battles fought, of sacrifices made, of a city that refuses to surrender. And as the smoke of this upheaval thickens in the air, leading us to a cliff that's too steep to see what lies beyond, I ask you, are we finally ready to lean into the fury? Or are we doomed to watch this storm pass by, another chapter lost? In the long, painful shadow of Detroit's finest that we'll never reclaim? Are we still enough to fight through the darkness? Or will the weight of the past crush our hopes beneath the wheels of another shattered season, leaving us desperate in the night, waiting for the next thunderclap that might just change everything? Or drown us in despair? What is the next move? And are we brave enough to face it head on, knowing the blood, sweat, and tears have only just begun to wash over us now?